Hi everyone, it's Teresa here, your creative solutions creator and professional mess maker for the Creative Campus. Today I am here with a weekly wrap-up. This week we talked about, and are still talking about, places around the world. This is going to be an ongoing theme in the group, and we're going to approach it from different angles. And I wanted to go over some of the stuff that we have already covered, and I wanted to share something fun with you that ties into today's activity of the day. So, on Monday, we started with math. And you're probably thinking, math and places around the world. Well, how can you tie those two things together? Well, you can tie together I was looking at something. You can talk about math and places around the world in many different ways. You can do so by using maps. You can calculate how far one place is from another and how long it will take you to get there using different forms of transportation. So that's a fun way that you can use math or build math while you are studying places around the world. So then on Tuesday, we talked about science and a fun way to explore science when you're studying different places around the world is to talk about climate and to talk about weather and how different cities or even different states or different regions of a specific country have different climate, different landscape, and different weather. And then on Wednesday, we talked about language. And language is an easy thing to build when you are studying places around the world. Because you can talk about different accents. If you're studying different parts of one particular country, you can compare and contrast the different languages or the different dialects of a specific language in different parts of the world. And you can also learn multiple languages by translating and learning how to translate words from one language to another. So those are some of the things that we have covered this week when we have studied places around the world. I would love to hear how you explore and learn about different places around the world. I would love for you to share maybe what your favorite activity is for learning about different places around the world. Maybe you have different activities that you use for different places around the world. Maybe you study different states or cities or countries in different ways. And I would love for you guys to share those activities here in the group. But now I want to share for you or with you an activity for today. Today I want to focus on architecture. I want to explore local architecture, so maybe local to where you live, or local architecture in the country that you have an interest in studying. And how are they different? How is architecture different around the world? Do they have different kinds of buildings? Do they use different types of materials? I want you to take on architecture and use it to explore different places. I want you then to share the different ways that you have enjoyed learning about architecture and the different forms and types of architecture around the world with the rest of us. The reason why I like architecture and want to encourage you to study architecture around the world is that architecture encourages exploration of creation and construction and putting your own spin on a place, on a building, on the way you think that a structure should be built. And I think this is a really great way for kids to learn about places around the world and the different ways that people build around the world. And construction is a great way to support that, because then you can extend the learning by getting kids engaged in making their own creations, building their own homes, or constructing their own forms of transportation, or any particular spin that you choose to put on architecture and construction. And I want to support and encourage you guys to explore these topics. And to get you started on doing that, I am going to share with you my construction theme that is full of math and science and art and language that I hope will inspire you guys to maybe replicate your own versions of structures that you have seen or discovered from around the world. So that is going to be in the comments of this video. So that is your activity of the day. I want you to explore architecture and study the different types of architecture around the world. And then I want you to create your own interpretation of the architecture that you have discovered from around the world. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope that you enjoy today's activity.